I don't know whether that's going to be what they're looking out for. I think just playing... Oh, never mind. Lehent's just going in. Teddy is almost dead. Mega Inferno Bomb and gets the flash and also the kill on top. So, yeah, this GenG are very, very scary. Oh, the Cannon Barrage, absolutely massive. Bellows Breath goes the wrong way there for Fletter as the Cannon Barrage getting so much AoE down. And they just eat everything with all of the shields. Raptor now a little bit further extended than he wants to be, but he'll put down a teleport ward here for Closer to make his way in. Make It Rain comes down. Lucid trying to be that front line. Is Henna gonna get turned on? Death's Dawn, it just destroys him. There goes the Talia as well, and Duro. Oh my goodness, Clear gonna try and save it with a big ulti.
In the 2024 summer split, we saw a huge shift in the meta, with AD carries being played mid lane and even top lane. This was partially due to the rise in AP poke junglers like Zyra and Brand. Poke champions were so broken that it was common for teams to draft 4 poke champions with a melee support, like in this game of Mad vs G2. As our summer went on, we saw teams trying to one-up each other with more poke, with Ziggs, Misfortune, and recently, Gangplank into LCK, picked by Dplus Kia and GenG. An important statistic that led to the rise in poke comps is Rumble's pick ban rate. In the LCK and LPL regular season and LEC playoffs, Rumble had close to 100% pick ban rate. Every team knew that Rumble counters poke comps super hard thanks to his long-range equalizer. In a teamfight, Rumble's equalizer comboed with CC from Rel or Alistar can instantly win the fight, as seen here where Nongshim gets a beautiful Rumble ult that kills all of T1. But what Dplus Kia and GenG noticed is that Rumble isn't the only champion that counters poke comps, but also Gangplank. Gangplank and Rumble shares lots of similarities, especially because Gangplank has a long-range ult that slows and punishes immobile carries. Both of their E's also offer slows, and their W's offer self-peel. And finally, both of their Q's are close combat AoE spells that allow them to thrive in tight skirmishes and delete squishy champions. In the LCK summer split, Keen on GenG had a 4-1 win-loss record on GP, with the only loss against KT. In all of these drafts, GenG drafted more poke champions like Corki and Ziggs, as well as traditional ADCs like Zeri and Tristana. Lehens always picked tank supports that can offer engage and disengage. Kingen on Dplus Kia had a 5-1 record on GP, with his only loss against GenG. And once again, Dplus Kia drafted lots of poke and ADCs, as well as tank supports. GP's total win-loss record was 9 wins and 2 losses, so in this video, we will analyze how Dplus Kia and GenG played Gangplank and stayed one step ahead of the meta. Let's first take a look at a few examples when opponents clearly don't know how to play against poke comps, starting with a fight between DK and Bro. Here, Kingen demonstrates GP's strength as a poke champion. DK are first to Dragon, and as Bro try to get vision, Kingen punishes them with a barrel. This scares the crap out of Bro, causing them to retreat and Palu to waste Locket. But they come back for more, and this time, they eat a barrel and LeBlanc poke from above. But notice that all of this river prio is useless. It cost Bro some health to get to Dragon, and Dplus Kia happily give up control of river so they can continue to poke. And if Bro starts Dragon, this plays right into Dplus Kia's poke comp, so they decide against it. Bro then retreats back to where they came from, wasting their time in eating poke on the way out. So before the fight even began, Palu is already below half HP from poke alone. Bro are now in a rough spot. They want Palu to base and heal, but Dplus Kia has started Dragon and upped the ante. So now, Bro are drawn back to Dragon for real this time. To us, we see that Lucid and Showmaker are off on flank angles, but Bro don't realize that they are at death's door. Moham and Kingen spot Bro and kite away, allowing Showmaker to nearly kill Fate. Palu knocks Kingen out of the fight, and it seems like Lucid is alone in the pit. But just as Palu is charging at Lucid with Poppy E, Lucid buffers the stun with Vild, and he wins a smite fight while ulting. Moham and Showmaker then arrive for the flank to kill Samver, so regardless of who got Dragon, Dplus Kia always had the positional advantage with their poke and flank angles. Later the same game, Bro and Dplus Kia are fighting for vision control around Baron. But KingGen and Showmaker get insane poke onto Bro that nearly kills Poppy and Lilia. This allows Dplus Kia to get a free Baron. In this match between FearX and Dplus Kia, FearX makes the fatal mistake of starting Baron against a poke comp. As Dplus Kia arrives, Showmaker and Aiming stay very far away and look to poke if FearX engages onto Lucid. Clear pops Meganar looking for a flank engage, but this is way too early and he gets chased by KingGen's GP. It seems like Dplus Kia are playing for a Baron steal. As Baron gets to 4k HP, Moham is in position for a rel flank, and FearX's carries are in a vulnerable position to eat poke from GP, Corki, and MF, as well as engages from Rel and Maokai. When Duro jumps on Lucid, he is instantly deleted by Showmaker and Aiming, and Raptor also falls but manages to kill Lucid. The rest of FearX are punished as a result of their poor engage onto Lucid, as well as their poor positioning that makes them susceptible to massive poke. Now, let's take a look at two of the best teams in LCK and see how they play as or against GP. First, notice how much poke GenG has. They have GP ult, Ziggs ult, Ivern Redemption, and Leona ult. They have a nasty ARAM comp that you want to engage and burst down, but Ivern offers the craziest peel in the world. Immediately, we see GenG get River Prio, and Paze is controlling the choke with Ziggs E. And Dplus Kia are just sitting in front of the minefield, and they don't know how to get the dragon. GenG are heavily defending the choke, and Chovy is also pushing mid, so DK decides to follow KingGen's flank route and group from bot instead of the choke. Dplus Kia arrives to dragon without much difficulty, but they notice that GenG are now hiding in Ivern's bushes, making their unseen poke much more effective. This is every ARAM player's worst nightmare. Dplus Kia are slowly gaining ground, but notice that GenG feels no need to stay near dragon. They keep their distance from Dplus Kia, and constantly poke with Ziggs and GP. Keen then uses GP ult as a zoning ult, and now, GenG looks to burst down dragon. So Dplus Kia executes on their multi-angle flank engage, with Talia Wall, Alistar Hex Flash engage, Zeri E, and Meganar. But this is where GenG plays to the poke comp win conditions to perfection. Lehens knows that his job on Leona is to peel, not to engage, and he does a perfect job of peeling by interrupting the Alistar engage with a stun mid W, and Leona ult that stuns both Alistar and Gnar. After KingGen and Kellen are bursted down, Aiming looks to 1v5 with the Zeri flank, with Lucid and Showmaker super far away. But he falls after a valiant attempt. We now take a look at another dragon fight, and notice now that Dplus Kia has the Mega Poke comp. They have GP ult, Maokai ult, Corki rockets, and MF ult, so it is critical that they combo their ultimates well and not get picked by Sejuani ult, Ashe ult, and Rel ult. Both teams are throwing poke from each other, and Moham gets taken down to half HP from Smolder Q alone. KT then throws Sejuani ult and Ashe ult onto Moham, and Dplus Kia responds with their arsenal of ults with Maokai ult, MF ult, and GP ult. And amongst the chaos, Lucid secures Infernal Soul for Dplus Kia. Moham falls first, so now KT wants to chase down Dplus Kia, but this is their comfort zone since they are poke comp. Barrel's rel engage is suboptimal, as his ult only catches Aiming. And to follow up, Duft is taken to half HP from GP ult alone. And on the side, KingGen brings BDD to half HP from one barrel, followed by a Corki rocket that kills BDD. In this fight, KT did not respect the poke that they were walking into when chasing Dplus Kia, and this cost them the bot inhib. We've seen enough clips of GP poking his opponents to death, but how do teams counter it? The answer is either with more poke or better macro. In GenG's only loss of the season, they picked GP into KT's poke comp, with Maokai, Corki, and Ziggs. But GenG also has poke, with GP ult and Ezreal. So when KT are doing Baron, GenG should be able to poke them down and stop it. But KT does an excellent job of picking off GenG, despite the risk of starting Baron. First, KT notices that Canyon is arriving from top with Lilia's bowling ball, and Perfect and BDD jump on Canyon and kill him. In the meantime, Deft and Beryl are controlling GenG's aggression from bot by poking and peeling with Ziggs. In this standoff, Deft is getting so much value with Ziggs Q, and he even throws Ziggs ult for more poke. Then, Lehens makes the fatal mistake of engaging onto Pyosik, and he instantly dies to the poke of BDD and Deft. Canyon and Lehens' deaths were due to impatience, and now, Beryl strikes for GenG's jugular, with a beautiful Rel flank onto Keen and Chovy. Keen falls, and Chovy escapes, but KT gets Baron in a 3-for-1. Paze is then chased down for a 4-for-1. In Dplus Kia's loss on GP, they are expecting GenG to be impatient and start Baron, so Kingen and Lucid run top and push the wave. But what they don't know is that GenG are not your ordinary team. GenG is using this time to get deep vision in Dplus Kia's jungle. Lucid is guarding the tri-bush while Kingen is pushing top, but Dplus Kia don't realize that they are overextended. Lehens first throws Maokai ult to split DK, and Chovy is wrapping around for a flank and gets massive damage onto Kellen. And instantly, DK find themselves cornered by GenG in a 4v5 with Showmaker miles away. Kellen gets saved by Kalista ult, and Kellen misses his flash route onto Keen. Desperate for a way out of this mess, Lucid also goes for a flash engage onto Keen that Keen dodges with his own flash. GenG played this cornering slow chase very methodically, reacting well to everything that DK throw at them, including Canyon's Zanyas, and Paze's cleanse to remove hostile takeover, and Paze flashing away from Ziggs ult. Chovy then easily kills Showmaker in a 1v1, and Keen gets massive value by 1v4ing DK's backline, and even gets a kill onto Kellen before he falls. And in the remaining 4v3, GenG has no problem slowly cleaning up DK, as they are trapped in the corner of the alcove. For our last clip, let me show you the most egregious moment of poke v poke. 1.5 minutes before Elder spawns, both teams are already A-ramming. We have entered a meta where split pushing and flank engages are no longer viable, so teams keep one-upping each other with more and more poke. First it was Tristana and Corki mid, then came Smolder and Zeri mid since they are better hyperscalers. Then we saw MF and Ziggs bot to offer even more poke. And the latest addition to poke comps is Gangplank seen by GenG and Dplus Kia, picked specifically to counter squishy ranged poke champions. This meta has mutated into an era meta. Either you are a poke champion, or you are a tank that can offer disengage. And this leads to the most stale dances, because engaging almost always backfires. Both teams have been dancing for so long that Dplus Kia's wave, that was originally bot, has been pushed all the way to KT's inhibitor. This 2-minute long dance was finally broken not by an engage, but rather by a backdoor TP from Showmaker, forcing KT to make the suboptimal rel engage, giving aiming a free MF ult. Kingen is also flanking Deft and BDD, who are trapped in the Dragon Pit, hoping to whittle them down with poke that they cannot dodge, since they are cornered. Lucid then wins the Elder flip, but DK's positional advantage in this poke v poke setup is so overwhelming that I'd argue that they are still in an advantageous state even if KT got Elder. Like it or not, this is peak League of Legends in this current meta, where engaging is discouraged and side lane waves can decide games. Are you a fan of slow macro play, or are you a fan of decisive playmaking engages? Let me know in the comments. If you like analytical content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button for more. I also have a Discord server where you can chat with me and other analytical viewers. The link is in the description below. Take care and see you in the next video.